when it comes to deciding whether to apply permanent residency for Australia or Canada, people get a lot confused, and it's quite obvious also, because there are a lot of similarities between the two countries. Both the countries are English-speaking countries. Both have, a very happy population, one of the happiest places on earth. Both the countries have similar immigration systems, similar because both are merit-based immigration system, point-based immigration system. In both the countries, the states' nomination programs are also there. So, which country is best for you? How will you decide? Let me help in that. Hello everyone, my name is Harun Bhatt and you're watching the YouTube channel of Freeway Abroad. In this video, we're going to discuss about the federal programs of both the countries, the federal immigration programs for both the countries. FSW, Federal Skilled Worker Program in case of Canada, and Subclass 189 in case of Australia. We'll discuss the key differences between both the programs, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll be able to make a more informed decision whether to go for a Canadian PR or for Australian PR. To start with, one thing you need to note down is that both the countries have separate skilled occupation lists. Just because your occupation falls in the occupation list of Canada doesn't mean that it will be present in the occupation list of Australia also. So you need to check whether whatever qualification or work experience you have, it matches with the skilled occupation of Canada or with Australia. Another major difference is in the case of language requirements. Since Canada has two official languages, that is French as well as English, so you get marks for both. In case of Australia, since there is only one official language, that is English, so you get marks for English only. Another thing is, in case of Australia, IELTS general training as well as Pearson test of English is accepted. In case of Canada, only IELTS general training is accepted. In case of Canada, if you do not have CLB9, that is 8 bands in listening module and 7 bands in the other 3 modules, you will not be able to qualify, or you will not be selected out of the pool. In case of Australia, even if you have a band score of 6 each on all the 4 modules of IELTS general training or equivalent in Pearson test of English, PTE academic, you'll still be able to make it through. In the case of Canada, your assessment is done only for your qualification or education. But in case of Australia, assessment is done for both qualification as well as work experience. In case of Canada, the qualification is assessed mostly by the most popular of the 4 or 5 institutions that are designated by the Canadian government to conduct assessment is World Education Services. So World Education Services, or WES, conducts assessment for a wide range of qualifications from diverse backgrounds. But in case of Australia, since the concerned authorities have to assess the work experience also, so you'll find that there are a number of institutions that do assessment for your specific qualification only or work experience. For example, if we talk about engineers, the Engineers Australia will do the assessment. If you are from a trades background, for example, you've done ITI in plumbing or something, then TRA will do your assessment, which is, again, I'll mention here that they'll assess your qualification as well as work experience to make sure that you qualify for that particular skilled occupation or not. Now we'll talk about work experience. In case of Canada, even if you have 1 year of skilled work experience, you'll get points for that. But in case of Australia, you need to have at least 3 years of skilled experience in order to get marks for work experience. Another thing is, in case of Canada, your experience points are connected to the language proficiency. For example, if you have 6 each in all the 4 modules and you have 3 years of work experience, you'll get 25 points. If you have CLB9, that is 8 bands in listening and 7 bands in the other 3 modules, you'll get 50 points. So this is the difference in case of Canadian immigration system. While in case of Australia, there's no such connection. The language proficiency scores are different. They are not in any way related to your work experience points. Another interesting thing in both of these countries, immigration programs of both of these countries, is that In case of Canada, if you have 3 years of work experience, you'll get highest number of, highest points. In case of Australia, this is the bare minimum that you need to in order to get points for work experience. In case of Canada, if you are married, your spouse need not sit for an IELTS exam. I mean, obviously, if they'll sit for the IELTS exam, he or she will get you good marks. For example, if they have 6 each in IELTS general training, you can get 12 points. But in case of Australia, if you want to get the assessment done for your spouse, which will give you another 5 points, IELTS is mandatory because the spouse needs to have at least 6 each or as required by the assessing authority in order to qualify for points for her or his work experience. Now comes the total time it takes. For purpose of similarity, will take time period from once you get invitation to apply in case of Canada, or similarly when your expression of interest is selected in the case of Australia. So after you get an ITA, it will take less than 6 months in case of Canada. But in case of Australia, once you have to apply for PR, your expression of interest is selected, the visa subclass or the processing time is from 11 to 15 months. So there is a huge difference in case of the total time it takes to get PR. So these were the key differences between the immigration program of Canada and immigration program of Australia. If you have specific queries, you can email us, you can WhatsApp us, you can call us on the numbers given in the description. Also, you'll also find number somewhere here on the other side. You can also visit our office. The address is given below. And I hope this video will help you in deciding which country you would want to apply PR for. Thank you.